Welcome to Holbert Arena, where the 8-15 Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers play host to the 8-12 Earlham College Quakers. Good afternoon, everybody. William McDermott alongside Mike Hash. And Mike, when you look at the HCAC standings, both these teams kind of in the middle of the pack here, and we're nearing the end of this regular season. Only 4 games left for both these schools before the conference tournament.
Yeah, and it looks like Earlham has done a great job on a 2-game win streak. They're getting ready for the tournament, and Rose kind of got to turn it around. They've been on a 4-game slide, and that's been a little challenging, and you don't want to do that going into the tournament. Yeah,
Rose-Hulman coming off a straight sweep at Hanover, 0-3 in sets, and they just really struggled getting kills. Their leader in kills this season, or one of their leaders in kills this season, in Amaya Harrell, had just 5, and she's been a real key for them this season.
Yeah, she's been very important to them, and if you're the number one go-to person, you've got to be able to control that net and get your team some points.
Rose-Hulman is led by Rachel Delsey in her 7th season here back at Rose-Hulman. She, coming into the year, a record of 76 and 78 overall. She's 26 and 28 in conference play, and she helped the program reach the DIII tournament for the 2nd time ever in 2018. She spent the 2017 season as an assistant at DePaul. As for Earlham College and the Quakers sitting at 8-12, Lauren Horton is in her 10th season as head coach of the Quakers. She also serves as associate athletic director at Earlham College out in Richmond, Indiana. She has had that position since 2021, a year where she also won the HCAC Coach of the Year. So Earlham coming in 4th place in the HCAC. They've got a record of 2-2 in conference games. And Rose-Hulman at 1-3 in conference games, just trying to find some footing here. Even though it's late in the season, despite that, Rose-Hulman does have one of the better players in all of college volleyball in Lily Ebright.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see her play today. And what's amazing is that she is leading all NCAA divisions in digs, and that in itself is phenomenal. So in Earlham, with a win today, they've kind of put themselves to be an upper-tier HCAC team going into the tournament. And this is a big game for them. And they're not a great road team, but they're not a bad road team either. So Earlham's got to be able to control and win at home.
That's really been the difference between these two teams this season. You said it, performance on the road. Earlham has been able to squeak out a few wins at 3-5 on the road, where Rose-Hulman is 0-6 away from Holbert Arena.
Yeah, and then what I was also impressed with was how Earlham took Manchester to 5. So that's because Manchester's the leader in the conference, and they have a good program up there. So the Earlham, they've got to be playing real well.
Yeah, and Rose-Hulman will end their season here at home versus Manchester on November 9th. So just a few more weeks in the regular season for both these teams. A good one coming up here on RHIT TV. William McDermott and Mike Hash. More coming on the pregame.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all their reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Back in Holbert Arena in Terre Haute, Indiana, on campus of Rose-Hulman Technological Institute. And Rose-Hulman getting ready to take on the Earlham College Quakers, an interconference matchup in the HCAC here in October, late October. Division III college volleyball on IndianaSRN. William McDermott alongside Mike Hash here with you in Holbert Arena. All time in the series, Rose-Hulman leads 21-11 against the Quakers. 2-6 though here at Holbert Arena. And here we are on the talent scale. Mike, happy to be here. It should be a fun afternoon of volleyball. Both these teams looking to get back in the win column, at least for Rose-Hulman's sake after the 0-3 loss at Hanover. But on Earlham's side, they had a 3-0 win over Bluffton on Wednesday. Only had 12 errors, and as a team, they hit for 274 in that matchup.
And that's impressive. When you only have 12 errors and you're hitting almost 300, you're going to be a hard team to beat. And they, and they're a hot team coming in here, and so it's going to be a great matchup today.
Earlham, of course, here last season, actually that was at Earlham College, beat Rose-Hulman 3-0. It was actually closer than the score would tell, 25-12 in the first set, but 25-22 in the second, and then 25-19. So Rose-Hulman hung around with Earlham College, but defensively, 53 digs for the Quakers in that matchup last season, just 36 for Rose-Hulman. A little bit of a surprise with how Ebright has been so dominant for Rose-Hulman since she's been here. We talked about it earlier. D3 lead in digs and digs per set. She's the two-time HCAC reigning Defensive Player of the Year in 2022 and 2023. She's also a two-time HCAC first teamer. Rose-Hulman coming in at 8-15 in 7th place in the conference. Earlham College from Richmond, Indiana, 8-12 in 4th place. On the road this season, Earlham 3-5, Rose-Hulman 4-5 at home. Should be ready for the first hit coming up next, and after the national anthem, we're going to take a quick break, and then it'll be time for Rose-Hulman and Earlham College. This is Rose-Hulman Volleyball on RHIT TV.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your student to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
575 of them from 40 states and 19 countries, with a record-breaking number of applications. Did you forget about Rose's outstanding class of 2023 and how 99% of the graduates have landed a position in their dream fields, graduate school, or the military?
The renovations to Munch Hall are finally complete, so I'm sure he'll have plenty to eat at the updated Munch Cafe by the new Living Mall.
We just broke ground on a new residence hall that will be ready for fall 2025.
We celebrated a record-breaking homecoming with more than 2,000 alumni, students, and friends commemorating the 100th anniversary of the bonfire with our first ever drone show. We also welcomed 267 employers for our fall career fair. And perhaps the greatest gift of all, the Wall Street Journal named us to one of the top 20 best colleges in America, and U.S. News & World Report named us the #1 undergraduate engineering college. You can be a little old for a lot of things, but you're never too old or too far away for Rose-Hulman. 2023 was a year of adventurous journeys, of coming together, of growth. No matter how far away you roam this holiday season, you will never be truly alone as long as Rose is your home.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
Back in Hobart Arena is Rose Holman getting set to take on the Earlham Quakers in a Saturday afternoon volleyball match. One of the final 5 games of the regular season for both teams. Starting lineups getting announced right now. Rose Holman in the home red kits, and for Earlham gold and maroon. Quakers coming in with an 8-12 record. Rose Holman at 8-15. William McDermott here on campus of Rose Holman Institute of Technology and inside Hobart Arena for today's matchup on IndianaSRN. Rose Holman last season a 15-14 record, finished 4-5 in conference. Earlham, on the other hand, had a tough season, 10-18 overall, 4-5 in conference as well. And we talked about the last time these two teams played, it was a 3-0 series set sweep for Earlham against Rose last season. Time to take you through our title sponsors this fall for RHIT TV and Rose Holman Volleyball. Reynolds Farm Equipment. Reynolds Farm Equipment is a leading equipment dealer since 1955. Passion to care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. Boilermaker Local 374. Boilermakers Local 374 represents highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. Wheeler Mission. For over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar in the Indianapolis community. Burtner Electric, your trusted electrician partner since 1986. Morales Group, we're in business to create a better future for you and your family. And finally, the IndianaSRN sports page. Follow the sports page every day with updates from news coast to coast. Log on to IndianaSRN.org and click on our tab. So teams huddling up here, Mike, and we're just about ready to go. You're going to have to take us through your keys to the matchup here this afternoon.
So I think for Earlham, they've got to limit their serving errors. They have way too many on the season, and they're going to be able to control the game and be able to score rather than give points away. Their hitters have to get hot like they did in the last game, especially Kaylee Brandes. She needs to get hot and start to carry them. For Rose, they've got to control the passing. You control the passing, you control the game. And they're a wonderful passing and dig team. And they have to have a positive hitting efficiency today. They cannot have negative. And what they're also going to need to do is they're going to need to limit Earlham's hitters and own the net because they're a very good blocking team.
So Rose Holman left side and then Earlham on the right side. You mentioned the errors for Earlham. It has been a problem. 169 on the season. That's 30 more than their opponents have had.
Yeah, and you can't give points away. So I've always told my players, when you walk away from serving, you want to be a positive. So if you win 2 points and you give up 1, okay, but don't give 1 away and not earn any. And our players also have to protect the server too, especially when you get your number 1 up there.
Libero on each side. For Earlham, it is number 13, Madison Bizjack, the 5'5 sophomore from San Diego. And on Rose Holman's side, obviously, it's Lily Ebright, the D3 leader in digs and digs per set, something she's really held all season long. And statistically, the nationwide leader. Leading hitters for Rose Holman, that's going to be Jillian Gregg and Desiree Beverly, along with Amaya Harrell. Kaylee Brandes, you mentioned for Earlham College, somebody to watch out for, and Gregg will serve it away, received by Earlham. Here's Bizjack, sets it up, and that's a nice dig by Cadilli. Ebright will keep it in play for Rose. And a tough pass there. It was difficult for Girardi to get to, and it's going to be a point for Rose to start us off.
Yeah, they were not on the same page. That was a great 31 that she set her, a quick hit right between the middle and the right side, and they just miscommunicated there.
Gregg again on the serve. Brandes an opportunity, and she takes advantage.
That was a great hit. She went up and over the block and to the right side of Ebright, and she just didn't. She put it on the floor. It was a great attack.
Addison Piot to serve for the Quakers. Received by Bergfeld. There's Ebright picking up a dig. And that's knocked out of play. That was Aurora Schmidt, who you're pretty familiar with there, Mike. She's put it over the net for Rose.
She's a great young lady out of Carmel High School, played club at Monon Select. She went down the line for that kill, and Earlham just couldn't handle that.
Bergfeld to serve. 2-1 in the first set here this Saturday afternoon. Rose-Hulman leads. There's a good deflection at the net. May have been Beverly who got it. She's just going to dump it over the net. Harrell a chance, couldn't put it through. Nice dig there by Bergfeld. And Beverly, a little tip shot. No, she'll take another hit. Received by Earlham. A nice rally here and a dump off from Anaya Harrington.
That was a nice off-speed shot by her, just finding that hole right in the middle of the floor that didn't get covered up very well.
Harrington had a team-high 11 kills in the win at Bluffton on Wednesday for Earlham. Bizjack, the libero, to serve. Received by Ebright, and immediately an opportunity at a hit for the Fighting Engineers.
So that's an out-of-system ball. They took the setter out on that kill, and Earlham struggled with it.
Beverly there had a crack at it. Looks like she'll get another. And it's a point for Rose.
Great set, and she just went off the block outside. That was a great line shot for her.
Beverly a team high in kills this season. Just a freshman, 5'8" from San Antonio. 212 kills on the season. That was just tough for her to get to. Well done by Anaya Harrington once again.
Yeah, she found that little hole right there, and sometimes the ball has eyes and finds the floor.
Couple subs. Jasmine Meeker comes in. Out goes Ava Walters. 3-3 in the first set here at Holbert Arena. William McDermott and Mike Hash.
There we talked about serving.
Yep.
Key, and there's your setter, Sydney Lyle, that comes in.
Julia Ehrman to serve for the Engineers, and it's off the face.
It's a great floating serve, and it looks like it kind of maybe arose right at the very end and hit her in the
little bit of a knuckleball almost. She didn't know how to play it, and Jasmine Meeker.
Yeah, if you can float serve and that knuckleball, it's hard. It's hard.
Kind of backpedaling there, as you could see on the replay. That was a great dig.
Great dig
on the Quaker side.
Here comes a free ball. Yep.
Kara Osi, the freshman from Chicago, and she's been really good for the Engineers this season so far. 137 kills, 30 blocks. She had 3 aces versus Hanover.
They took advantage of that free ball they got.
Tough serve there, just past the end line.
Yep.
So errors on both sides now.
Now Rose got 2 out of that, so that was a positive. That was 2 points plus and 1 negative here. So, but you got to keep the ball in play. But obviously they were going after zone 5 and attacking that defender.
So OC also a solid hitting percentage, is 248 for her, the freshman. And here she is again, dug out by Bizjack, and a big time hit up there towards the net by Liv Kirk.
Yeah, that was impressive. Liv Kirk did a great job on turning and trying to aim for the 1 zone and put it down just beyond the 10-foot line.
Lauren Newcomer is out there. She just served and tried to dig it, but couldn't.
So far what I've seen is the outsides of Rose are trying to go line, and it's wide open. So Earlham's going to need to make that adjustment if they're going to give the line up, because Rose is taking advantage of it right now.
And when you say line, just for myself and also our viewers at home, what do you?
So they're going down the right sides are going down the line rather than coming across the court. So what they're doing is they're pulling their setter up to the 10-foot line, and they're opening the back line open. And Rose is taking advantage of that right now.
Ebright received it over the net. That was deflected at the net. Third hit here. A really good dig by Lauren Newcomer. Gregg received by the Quakers.
Oh, good cover there on the tip.
Gregg again. Received. Bizjak can't get to it, diving towards the net. And Rose-Hulman, a nice start here in set one, 8-5 early lead.
So that was a great little rally. What I saw was Earlham's kind of fixed the line shot, and Rose covered up the tip that they had given up 2 points on so far.
Cadilli, Bizjak on the reception. Bergfeld lifts it up. Gregg, a little dunk. And Bizjak once again couldn't get to it. She got it over the block too.
That was a great little tip right there, and she got up there and got it. They're going to probably adjust her and move her up.
Is that what they call is it a dink?
Dink
yeah.
tip, yep.
Cadilli, a bit of a knuckleball serve there. And Ebright pats her chest, says my bad, as that one just kind of went off her forearms and towards the Rose-Hulman bench.
That's a rare error for her. Looks like both teams are starting to settle in a little, get into their groove.
Liv Kirk to serve here. Hitting .242 on the season. She also has 25 blocks. There's a little tip. Ebright. Set up Gregg. Nice block, but it's out of bounds.
Yeah, it was a great solid shot. The block was there. If she rotates that left arm a little,
yeah,
it probably
it's
goes
all about
in.
angles up there when you're going up towards the net. And Gregg on that right side has been really active. And there's just a tough dig from Jasmine Meeker. Rose-Hulman, 11-6, rolling in the first set.
There's another ace by Osi.
Osi again. Poorly hit into the net by Skylar Murray.
Those are just unforced errors you can't give. That's an easy roll shot, and she didn't bring her hips through.
Going to be a timeout by Earlham. We're going to take one with them. Right now in set one, Engineers 12, Quakers 6 on RHIT TV. Back in Hobart Arena, William McDermott and Mike Hash. Set one between Rose-Hulman and the Earlham College Quakers in this HCAC matchup. 12-6, Engineers lead after the timeout from Earlham. How about that block and dink?
That was a great redirect. I always say don't feed the monsters. That's an overpass. And Harrell went up and did a great job of redirecting the ball down to the open spot.
Amaya Harrell, who's having a fantastic season, hitting .278 and leads the team in blocks. An excellent play up at the net, 13-6 Engineers. And that was a nice shot from Skylar Murray over Harrell and Gregg.
Yeah, that was a great angle we had right there. As you could see it go right over the block and down.
Ava Walters, the junior setter, will serve. Ebright receives for the Fighting Engineers. Bergfeld just barely got it over the net. Murray getting it past the outstretched arms of Ebright.
That was a great touch by Rose. Sometimes those are good. It takes a lot off for your DSs, and sometimes it takes too much off. Good attack by Earlham.
Harrell.
Nice slide. That was a great slide by the middle to get to that outside pin.
Maya Harrell here since the timeout, making her presence known. A great little block dink shot and then a nice hit there. Talked about her hitting percentage, 278 on the year, 175 kills. That's second on the team. That one was just past the end line. There'll be a point for the Quakers. Another error. 2 by Rose Holman thus far. But Harrell also the block leader for this Fighting Engineer squad this season. Aurora Schmidt passed the block just right through it. Strength on strength, and Schmidt won.
So yeah, these freshmen for Rose are impressive. They're young, so the experience they're getting this year is just going to benefit them in the next couple years.
If you're Rachel Delsey, you have to be happy with the development. Obviously, Ebright just a junior as well. Bergfeld past the end line.
Back-to-back serving errors is not helping when you were up 6.
So in will come Harshini. Harshini's played in 29 matches last season. Harrell, that had a lot of power behind it. A little bit of a collision between Harrell, who's still down, and the Quakers are able to take advantage. It's like 2 players from Rose kind of going after the same ball here. Yeah, a little collision between Harrell and Ebright you see on the replay. And then it was Liv Kirk who just had a wide open dink. Schmidt received by the Quakers, and she got her hands on it. Gregg did, but nevertheless, it's a point for Earlham, and they're starting to find their groove.
They've done a great job coming out of that timeout. They've cut the lead in half, and they're on serve.
Bizjack to serve. That's Beverly who's back in now. That had some serious knuckle to it. Ebright receives. Beverly again left side. Piot got her hands on it for the Quakers. Block by Harrell, controlled by the Engineers. Harrell again. Good rally here. Up towards the net, and it's a point for the Quakers. That was Kaylee Brandis. Haven't said her name much this afternoon, but she is the go-to player for the Quakers as Rose Holman and Rachel Delsey will take a timeout. 15-13 competitive first set here in Holbert Arena on RHIT TV.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED's Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
15-13 Engineers over Quakers here in set 1 this Saturday afternoon. Timeout from Rose-Hulman. And Mike, ever since that first timeout from the Quakers, they've started to figure some things out, as though Beverly gets a point for Rose-Hulman. What has kind of been the difference that you've noticed, at least? Has it been more so Rose-Hulman not capitalizing, or the adjustments that the Quakers have made?
I think, Earlham came out with a little more energy out of that first time out. And Rose did not help themselves on the 2 serving errors back-to-back. And a lot of it's momentum. And Earlham got that momentum coming out of the timeout. That's a great dig right there by Ebright.
Brandis, another one by Ebright, diving face forward. Beverly, a chance. Bizjack receives.
This is going to be a big point right here.
Brandis, tip. Controlled by the Engineers.
On Aurora, nice line shot.
That was Schmidt. Brandis again, and out of play. Point Rose-Hulman.
That was a great rally there, and both teams were doing exceptionally well in digging the ball and putting it on their hitters.
Seems to be a focus early here to get Brandis involved.
They need to. I think Earlham goes when she goes.
Brandis, kill leader and block leader for the Quakers this season, and another error on the serve from the Engineers.
That is 4 in game 1.
It's hard to control the match and the set if do they call it turning it over? That's what I wanted to say. It's what my brain was telling me to say.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, there's one on the side of the Quakers as Blyle couldn't get it over the net.
Yeah, it's frustrating as a coach, but they don't mean to do it. It's going to come down to, did they toss it? Did they hit it the wrong way? Things like that. And the kids are always more frustrated at themselves than the coach is frustrated at them. So, but you've got to not give the other team freebies. Those are just free points.
That's Julia Ehrman serving, who just came in for Schmidt. That was a double hit down there. Beverly. Not sure who the other was. I believe actually Harshini, but
good attack by Harrington for Earlham. It was a little off-speed hit, and it hit the net, and that totally killed the momentum of the ball getting back to the passer.
So newcomer isn't much of a newcomer, junior from Tomball, Texas. She'll serve for the Quakers. This time gets it over. That's Gregg, a little dink, and that was nice. Had some curve to it. And Kirk was able to get a hand on it at the net, but not enough to block it back on Rose-Hulman's side. 19-15 in set 1. Here's another look at it.
She caught the outside hitter moving to get the tip over the block, and she went to the side of it.
And Cadilli with that knuckleball couldn't get it over. Another error. Here's Liv Kirk.
It's a great serve.
And that hit from Osi, just too long, although they're saying there was touched. Yeah. So point for Rose-Hulman. Osi is really impressive. At 6 foot, she's just a freshman. The 2-time Illinois state champ, was all conference. Said she had 3 aces versus Hanover on Wednesday. That was Harrell up there. Gregg this time. Harrell again tips it. Point Rose-Hulman.
Wow, that was impressive.
She's laughing, too, in the huddle.
Yeah. Harrell blocks it on the middle, and then you got Gregg that blocks it from an outside, and then Harrell puts it down on the tip for the point.
OC to serve again.
Remember that point. That might be the changer here.
21-16 Rose in the first set. Harrell, big time hit.
Oh, that's a 31. She just pushed it straight out. That timing was incredible. What a kill.
And now the Engineers taking control of this first set. 22-16, Rose-Hulman over Earlham College in set 1 on RHIT TV.
So I started working on Babcock Ranch 16 years ago. We designed a sustainable community that is also storm resilient, and also it has a ton of flood control associated with it. It has 75 megawatt solar facilities on site, which will cover the entire 18,000 acre community. In September of 2022, we had Hurricane Ian. We had 150 mile per hour sustained winds for about 10 hours and 21 inches of rain. Babcock really had little to no damage at all. We were the only place in a 2-county area that had any electric or any available drinking water that did not need to be boiled. And Rose really prepares you to go out, think outside the box, and problem solve. And I think for any major at Rose-Hulman, that's what you're getting. You have the ability to go out and create something new and innovate and change the way that we live as humans today.
There's been a response from each team after timeout so far in this first set, and we were talking about it during the break, but that little segment prior to that last timeout, as OC will serve it for Rose-Hulman, they were leading the set. They'll get another point here, 23-16. They were 7-3 in that little segment, and all 3 points for the Quakers were off serve errors.
Yeah, and so Rose was just giving points away, and now it looks like they're right here controlling. OC's serving is really good right now.
There, a lot of strength behind that hit.
That was a great dig there.
Here's Greg. Bizchak receives, and Harrell over the net. Point for Rose-Hulman. She's been so active this first set.
Yeah, that was a great stuff block by her. And you control the net, you're going to limit the hitters for Earlham.
Rose-Hulman a point away from taking the first set here at home against Earlham. OC just barely grazed the net. Block opportunity, and OC was a little late getting back into play as Ebright will come back in to be the defensive specialist as the serve goes over to the Quakers.
Rose is in a great position here. I always want the ball with game on the line to receive it because you can control what you're going to go after. So you got to go to Harrell. You got to put Harrell on.
Oh, Bergfeld. And there it is. Rose-Hulman takes the first set 25-17. A strong showing from Kira OC as well as Amaya Harrell. And Rose-Hulman, after a tough go about it on Wednesday, a 0-3 loss at Hanover, back on the right track. They'll switch sides, and we'll take a quick break. 1-0 after the first set. Rose-Hulman leads on RHIT TV.
Athlete looking for enhanced performance, comfort, and recovery? Then Skins is the perfect choice for you. Our revolutionary sports compression product provides better oxygen flow in your muscles, helps reduce fatigue and pain from intense physical activity, allowing athletes to push their boundaries and perform better.
Skins helps keep everything, including you, on track.
So don't wait any longer. Get your Skins now and experience unbeatable performance.
Take your game to the next level with Skins.
They say nice guys don't finish first. So maybe it's time to reconsider what it means to be first.
It's about being your best, but knowing you could be even better.
It's being present, but respectful of history.
Sure you want to make that move?
It's donating something more valuable than money.
It's believing in yourself and something bigger.
It's coming from different families, but treating each other like brothers.
It's not just being a man, it's being a Mason.
It's 1-0 after the first set. Rose-Hulman over Earlham College. William McDermott here alongside Mike Hash on campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology inside Hobart Arena this Saturday afternoon for a great volleyball match, and it has been a good one so far. Rose-Hulman pretty dominant in that first set, Mike.
Yeah, they were, and one of the keys was limit Earlham's hitters by owning the blocks. So, and they've done that. They've got lots of touches on, and Earlham's hitters just haven't been able to catch their rhythm yet.
So Amaya Harrell had 5 kills in that first set on 10 attempts in that first set, as Jillian Gregg as well had 5 on 7 attempts. So the hitting efficiency, a key that you pointed out prior to the game. In the first set, Rose-Hulman, 436.
Yeah, that's really impressive. 17 kills, and they're saying no errors. So that's, wow, that's impressive. So Earlham's doing a good job of picking up the kills, but Rose is just putting it down.
And we talked about it during the break in between sets. You have a look at the Earlham College Quakers huddle right now, but this Rose-Hulman side, as they switch sides, it was Cotton Eye Joe during the break, and they were all dancing, and it just felt like some different vibes on both benches.
Yeah, Rose coach she's keeping them loose, and so, which is not a bad thing. There's a few things over there they gotta shore up and figure out. And what I noticed was it was more Girardi was talking to the team. So there's some great student leadership right there of, hey, ladies, this is what we got to do today.
Time to thank one of our sponsors, Reynolds Farm Equipment, which is a leading equipment dealer serving farmers, homeowners, landscapers, and commercial contractors in throughout Indiana. Nothing runs like a deer. Give a call today, 317-849-0810. So second set, Mike, what are you expecting from the Quakers? We saw them trying to get Kaylee Brandis going, but the sophomore really hasn't had that much luck so far. Just 2 kills on 8 attempts, also picked up an error in that first set.
Yeah, I would run more balls at her. Get her going, and then as Rose starts to focus on her, then you can kind of go off her now and then. But you're going to go when she goes, I think.
Harrell immediately had an opportunity. And the tip on the block. Again, Harrell getting up. And she denied Liv Kirk and got the point for Rose-Hulman.
She is owning the net right there in the middle. That was impressive.
There's nothing that Liv Kirk could do. And Harrell up there has been awesome thus far. Bergfeld couldn't get it over.
So for the 5 errors Rose had in the first game, they still won by 8. So it shows you how Rose dominated that first game.
Gregg, this is Beverly, started off the first set well, but was quiet later on. There's Brandis, strong hit controlled by the Engineers. Aurora Schmidt barely grazes the net. Brandis again, a little no look that time. Here's Harrell opportunity. That had some spin to it. Nice rally here, and the Quakers win the point.
That was a great cut shot by Harrington, and she put that ball down inside the 10 from the outside. That is impressive to do.
That would have been very difficult for Ellie Harshinen to get to. Bright thought she might dump it, but she didn't. Instead, Beverly does. And again, Beverly takes one off the chin, and it didn't go over the net. It was a bit of a deflection there at the net. I think Harrell may have gotten a piece of it.
Yep, and as Coach Meyer says, it went off the candy cane.
Why is that?
The pole, I call them I call them poles or antennas, and he calls them candy cane sticks.
So 3-2. Rose just won that point. Harrell will come out, take a breather. OC will come in. So front line right now, OC, Beverly, and Schmidt for the Engineers. Harrington receives as Bizjak just had some trouble with that. Put it right to the referee.
Yeah, that was just a bad pass on her part, because that's the libero knows if the setter's out, libero's got to put it on one of the pin hitters or the middle back.
Had a little bit too much behind it. Ebright to serve. Brandis. And that was just a lot of power behind that hit. You saw Greg try to control it, but just was not ready for it in time. Brandis has some serious power up there at the net on the outside.
That's what they need to get her going.
Beverly through the block. Harrington and Ebright diving was able to dig it out, but it ricocheted off of Desiree Beverly. Point for the Quakers, 5-3 in the second set. Harrington for Earlham is a kill machine last season her freshman season actually at 246. This season already up to 119. Hasn't hit that well at 146 though.
Well, she had 337 in game one. So she's helping carrying them.
Here she is. Looked like she was going to run on and smack it down, but instead opts to dink it over. Brandis. Ebright receives for Rose. That's Jillian Gregg. Beverly met her match of Brandis at the net and won.
That is strength. You've got to be able to withstand their push and be able to push back. Beverly did a great job.
They both go up for it, Brandis and Beverly wins that time. Brandis wins that time, though.
Yeah, that was a great, solid shot by her. She's come out in game two ready.
Yes.
And they're doing a great job getting her the ball, too.
She'll take a quick breather now. As into serve will be Sydney Bly, the junior setter. OC, big time hit and kill.
She just hit left of that block right into zone one where there was no one there.
A lot of smiles on this Rose Holman side. You see the OC point there. 6-6 here in the second set early. And Cadilli with that knuckleball serve couldn't get it over the net. Bergfeld just outside.
So Rose is still attacking that line. When Aurora hit right side line, Bizjack picked it up. This one was a little too far outside for Rose.
Ebright gonna have to dump this one for the Engineers. Bergfeld again. That was a great dig. And a point for the Quakers. Very well played by Madison Bizjack, the libero.
Yeah, that was an exceptional dig by her to get it over. It was a misplay by Greg.
And it'd be a timeout here as the Quakers have taken control of this second set. 9-6. It's Rose Holman Volleyball on RHIT TV.
Doing things so quickly. A lot of times we know that we need help. So our professors all know us by name.
Basically, everybody knows everybody here.
That one-on-one personal connection you're getting with the faculty, you don't get that a lot of places.
We are not just saying, here, go do this hard project. We are right there with them. We work with them.
The faculty are there for you.
broadcast is sponsored by Morales Group Staffing. We're in business to create a better future for you, for your family, and for the community we share. We can match you with the right career or hire the right candidate for your company. Call us today, 317-472-7600. Boilermaker Local 374 is also a sponsor. They represent highly skilled, highly motivated workers in field construction and metal fabrication throughout the state of Indiana. When you need a safe, dependable workforce for a new build and upgrade or facility maintenance, you can count on Boilermakers Union Local 374 to do your job right the first time. Back in Hobart Arena after the Rose-Hulman timeout, 9-6 in the second set. It's a 1-0 match advantage for the Engineers. Ebright receives for Rose. Bergfeld gets it over the net. Ebright again, another good dig on Rose-Hulman's side. Bergfeld again. Poor pass and setup from the Quakers, but Ebright had trouble getting to it. They maybe tried to touch it out of play. That was kind of a funky little play here on the left side.
Yeah, it was. I couldn't tell if she played it out and should have let it go. It was great hustle for Earlham to keep it in play.
Newcomer, beautiful serve.
Yeah, that was tough. I even thought it was going out, and that thing just died and dropped. But we're early in the match, so something like that's okay. Late in the match, that would really hurt you.
It's 11-6 here in the second set. This does look like a more energized Quakers squad than we saw in the first set. OC, too strong, point Rose.
Great job in finding the corners there. OC's a good player.
That was Harshini who set it up for her. Bizjack controls for the Quakers. Amaya Harrell back in for Rose-Hulman. Nice block up there by Earlham. And Bergfeld just kind of didn't get a full swing of it.
No.
It fell short.
And they're giving points away. That's a hitting error. Those are ones you got to keep in play.
Bizjack serves. And a nice block type shot from Liv Kirk. She just went up and got it.
And I think that was going to be a serving error because it looked like that Greg went outside her body to pass that, and she's already at the line.
When you say outside her body to pass that.
So when she's standing there at the line, her hands went to the right side,
okay,
and the right side was where the line was, so I felt like she passed the ball when it was really going to go out. And that overpass gave them a free point. They're taking advantage of it.
It's a 7-point lead here in the second set. How about Amaya Harrell? She's dominating up towards the net.
Yeah, they needed that because they were, Earlham was going after Greg.
That was Ehrman who picked up the assist as once again, another error.
She's got to get her toss up. That toss was a low toss. That didn't help. Earlham starting to take control of this match.
15-8 in the second set. It's a 1-0 match advantage for Rose-Hulman, and Kadili just had a really tough time with the reception on the serve. Another point for the Quakers, who have a lot of momentum in this second set.
Yeah, Rose is not doing a very good job in this set in serve receive.
Harrell, opportunity off the face of Bizjack. Amaya Harrell has been all over the net for Rose-Hulman. They've got to find a way to keep her involved offensively.
Agreed. She is the reason why they're in this second game right here.
Harshini.
There's an ace.
Poorly received by Skylar Murray. And how about the serve from Ellie Harshini.
That was a great little floating serve there. Those are hard.
Only 6 kills on the season for her, but she's been pretty active this match so far. She'll serve it again, 16-10, and she picks up another. Back-to-back aces. Difficult to receive there, up towards the head and neck area on the back line. She'll give it another go. Back to back to back. No. And then the Quakers and Liv Kirk say, we'll take a point ourselves.
Yeah, that was a great set and kill right there. It all starts with a pass. You get a good pass, usually you're going to get a good set, good hit out of it.
That looked like a pretty solid pass, but it's blocked up at the net. That was Beverly. Brandis Harrell blocked it. Bizjack, the setup. Harrington, no. Here's Aurora Schmidt towards the back line, controlled by the Quakers. Bad pass, and there was nothing that Brandis could do.
Outside the antenna, yeah, I hope she's okay. Looks like she felt awkward on her hand. Ooh.
So right now, yeah, Kaylee Brandis a little bit slow to get up, holding her hand. She's going to be looked at by the training staff, as you can see there. Fighting Engineers have been able to get back in this second set. Still awaiting to see if we're going to take a break or not for the injury. For now, we'll keep it here. William McDermott along with Mike Hash in Holbert Arena. Could hear a pin drop. I feel like I'm just talking and everybody in the whole arena can hear me.
Yeah, hopefully it's not as bad as it looks. Maybe some tape and she can get back out there.
Yeah, Brandis clearly in some pain right now. It's that left hand they're looking at. It does look like they are going to tape it up or something. They're bringing over a cart of medical equipment and supplies.
I've always said the most important person in the gym is the athletic trainer. They are key to any game match.
And Brandis obviously very important to this Earlham squad, and they are going to take a quick timeout for the injury. We will take one with them and update you on the happenings when we come back. 17-12 Quakers in this second set on RHIT TV.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're gonna fail it. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combine that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school, and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times, but it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
Yeah.
So it does look like after the injury to Kaylee Brandis, like we said, she did get that left thumb or wrist taped up, and she looks like she's good to go. She's back out there right now. And here in the second set, it's 17-12 Earlham over Rose-Hulman. It's a 1-0 match lead for the Fighting Engineers as Referee's trying to iron out some things here before the timeout. Had a quick pause with the injury to Brandis, but she's back out there on the right side.
Yeah, that's really big for Earlham. Keep her out there.
So back in action. Here's Harrington, and Ebright couldn't get to it. Anaya Harrington, the junior from Dallas, who had a solid start to the match in set one, has made some plays here in the second.
It was a great down ball for her. I didn't think the block was there in time. You got to put something on it for Harrington.
Beverly from the line. Harrington. Another point, Quakers.
That's 2 in a row for her. I mean, she's a great hitter to get if she gets hot, and Brandis continues to get hot.
So a timeout for Rose-Hulman quickly. This set is slipping away from them. 19-12 and a 1-0 match lead for the Fighting Engineers on RHIT TV.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
To talk.
(19-12), Quakers over the Fighting Engineers here at Holbert Arena in this second set. It's a 1-0 match lead for Rose-Hulman. They took the first set by a score of 25-17. Pretty dominant there from the Engineers, but the Quakers are bouncing back here in a big way. That timeout was just called. We had a little bit of an injury break as well in this set. But Kaylee Brandis is still out there for the Quakers. Julia Vamos comes in, the freshman from Valparaiso. And Liv Kirk to serve it away. OC, dink and point.
That play had to have been coming out of the timeout. That was a great call. It started with a really good pass, and it set OC up to just kind of dump it right there into the 10-foot line.
Yeah, it was Jillian Gregg, who last year she averaged 6.76 assists per set. That number's down this year. She's been used more as a hitter, as Ebright had a tough time getting to that.
Yeah, Earlham caught Rose off guard. They weren't ready for that, I don't think. That was a good quick set to the middle and a great shot right down the pipe.
(20-13) Quakers in this second set. Lyle serves it right into the net. Well, it hasn't been the prettiest game from a serving perspective so far, but up towards the net, Mike, we've had some great plays.
Yeah, both teams have done a great job of controlling the net, blocking, attacking.
Lyle sets it up. How about Ebright getting to that ball? And it's dumped by Kadili. They live to see another day. As Ebright again buys him another opportunity. Bergfeld. It was tipped at the net. And a point for Gabby Girardi.
Yeah.
Haven't said her name much since the first set. She has 59 kills on the season now.
Yeah, Rose just seems to be a little off right now because Ebright got that ball and there was no block. It was a straight shot to her, and she was able to dig it, and then Girardi finished it off there.
OC, tip, Bizjack, and then the block up top from OC on Girardi. And that one didn't go over the net. Point Rose-Hulman.
I feel like there's a little momentum coming back to Rose on that block.
I mentioned they didn't do it the possession previous. OC to serve. Kadili receives and digs it. Bergfeld. Here's a Maya Harrell who just checked back in. Well done, but that doesn't go over the net. Harrell, every time she's in there, Mike, something good happens for Rose Holman.
Yeah, and she had an amazing shot there to the corner, and Bliley picked it up. I don't know how she picked that up, but she did a great job giving them a chance. Here comes the free ball.
Bizjack will have to dump it. Harrell in for a point.
I'd ride Harrell.
Maybe that was just perfect placement.
Yeah, that was a great shot, deep line.
Oh, lock up top. I believe that was Greg. OC, Kadili, they should dump this. They do and keep it alive.
That's a great hustle. This is a hustle point here on the
block by Bergfeld. Rose Holman is crawling their way back in the second set.
And I'm telling you, I think it all started with OC's block at the front.
Yeah.
They've got a little run. They're back in this game.
OC to serve. Ehrman was able to dig it out for Rose Holman that time. OC does. Harrell tips it over the net. They try to block it and they can't. That was Skylar Murray who came up with the big point, and they'll get the serve back up 22-18 in this second set.
Skylar did a great job just hitting right over that and giving Earlham a much-needed point.
Harrell again, relentless at the net.
Oh, I just love her attitude right now. She wants the ball and she's delivering points.
Liv Kirk is having a tough time getting blocks on her up near the net. Kirk, 25 blocks on the season coming in today. How about that dig from E. Bright? Bergfeld, she's made some plays, and it looked like
net call.
Yeah. So Rose Holman, just like that, in a blink of an eye, Mike, it's 22-20 in the second set, which has been extremely competitive.
Yes, I mean they have, and it's all Harrell since this last time out. You got to go to her again.
Got some shoe tying going on. As this is Greg. Blocked, but they didn't see it. Bergfeld and Harrell were both there. And that was Blyle who came up and, actually, excuse me, that was Jasmine Meeker who got the point for the Quakers. Well done by her. The Quakers within 2 points of taking the second set.
In.
And that's Bergfeld.
That was a heck of a shot.
So, Hannah Bergfeld, you see here, coming on from the right side, and a beautiful shot, like you mentioned. She's had a few errors this match so far, but lately she's been coming on, and a big part of why Rose Holman has come back in this second set.
Yeah, they're doing a much better job passing. They're limiting their errors, and they're not giving points away.
And Bergfeld, just a senior, or just a freshman this season, as Brandis had some trouble with that, a rare miss from her. You have to wonder if the injury came into a play on that hit. And the Fighting Engineers have came all the way back. It's 23-22 in this second set, a 1-0 match lead for Rose Holman here on RHIT TV.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great
scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity, and that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
Today's broadcast is brought to you by Passion to Care, delivering care with more than 24 years of experience. As a prestige healthcare company, Passion to Care is driven by decades of expertise and a drive to go above and beyond. Call us today at 317-537-1811. Also, help make a difference. Help us put more student athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school, or just hit the donate button. More games, more opportunities for these kids. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat. This has been a very entertaining second set. 23-22. It was 19-12 Quakers at one point, and Rose-Hulman has come all the way back. Here's Brandis. It's out, and we're tied at 23.
Yeah, I didn't see a touch, but Earlham was calling for a touch. She just overhit that, got too far under it, and sent it long.
Chance for Rose to take the lead. Harshani. Brandis again, and that was just a really well-hit ball. The Quakers a point away here from taking it.
I think they're going to go Harrell. They get a good pass here. You got to go to Harrell.
Skylar Murray. Ebright receives. Like you said, they do go to Harrell. It was deflected at the net. Harrington dug out by Harshani. Desiree Beverly just barely gets it over the block. Harrington again, another chance, trying to keep it alive, and it hits the pole. Just barely. That would have been quite the play if Desiree Beverly could have kept it alive. She couldn't. And the Quakers take a second set, but it's been a competitive first two here, Mike.
Yeah, it really has been. That was a great game right there by both teams.
So 1-1 here as Earlham takes the second set over Rose-Hulman, 25-23. They'll switch sides, and we'll take a break in between the second and third set on RHIT TV.
So my goal is to get involved in space industry and learn about what lies beyond the Earth's horizon. I came across Rose Rocketry. I saw, hey, they're doing some really cool stuff. They're building rockets. I really grew a lot being as part of the team. Last year, through Rose Rocketry, I was able to attend SED Space Vision 2022, which was a student conference for people who want to get involved in space. And I was able to go to Washington, D.C. and talk to so many people within the space industry who come together and say, this is what the next goals for space are. Being at Rose, I was able to hone my engineering skills to push myself to get involved in the field further and learn about all these different opportunities. And I don't think I would have really gotten that at a bigger university.
Back for the third set between Rose-Hulman and Earlham College on this Saturday afternoon interconference, Heartland Conference volleyball matchup towards the end of the regular season. Rose-Hulman in 7th in the HCAC, Earlham in 4th. Both teams trying to pick up a big win towards the end of their season, trying to get momentum going towards this conference tournament coming up in just a couple weeks. William McDermott alongside Mike Hash. This broadcast is also brought to you by Piper Logistics. For more than 2 decades, the seasoned professionals at Piper Logistics have consistently been the trusted allies for all your inventory management, warehousing, fulfillment, and transportation needs. They stand as your comprehensive logistics provider. Ride with us and call today at 317-396-1023. So Rose-Hulman was able to get back into that second set. They were down 19-12 at one point. and eventually they were able to crawl their way back. They tied it up at 23, but eventually the Quakers were able to just overpower them towards the end, and we've got a really fun match brewing here.
Yeah, we have a really good match. I don't want to jinx this, but I could see this going 5 games. Both teams came out well in 2. Earlham hit 333 in set 2. Or Earlham 274, Rose hit 333. Nothing's really jumping out. Both teams are doing a great job receiving the ball. The serving errors for Rose, really, you have 8 serving errors.
Yeah, left a lot of points out there.
Yeah.
Gifted a lot of points, really.
And you had 3 in that set, and you only lost by 2. So that's tough to swallow there. So Rose should serve to start this 3rd game here.
And it does look like eventually that is what's going to happen. So 3rd set between Rose-Hulman and Earlham College, 1-1 apiece after the first 2. And to serve, like you said, it'll be Rose-Hulman's Julia Ehrman. Harrington on the reception for the Quakers. Brandis, a big hit. That was deflected at the net. And what do we have here?
That is most likely going to be either a net or a lift call, because the setter was so far into that net, she just couldn't dig it out of that from that pass.
A lift, is that when you are maybe picking the ball up or using your fingers to elevate it in a way instead of just hitting it?
Yeah, so the setter, sometimes you can use one hand, but if you get that palm under there too far and you go open palm and
kind of are like picking it up.
You're kind of lifting it up in the air, yeah, rather than properly setting it.
Greg misfires there, so 2-0 lead early in the 3rd set for Earlham. Greg, another misfire.
Earlham's come out in set 3 like they did in set 2. They got an early lead and controlled the game from there.
OC tipped it over. Brandis, good dig by Ebright. Bergfeld, she was good in the 2nd set. And she's got to get a point for Rose. It went off the hands of Anaya Harrington. And it's 3-1 here in the 3rd set.
Much needed point there for Rose. Now they can get into their rotations.
Ellie Harshini to serve. She had back-to-back aces in that 2nd set, part of why Rose-Hulman was able to get back in. And again, they're having trouble with the ball when it comes off Harshini's hand.
Yeah, that was a great serve. At the very last second, that ball kind of rose up a little. That's that knuckleball.
Harrington just had a difficult time judging it. Potato, as they do the same thing that time, though. Harrington is able to control. Beverly will dump it. Liv Kirk, a chance.
Out, but I thought I thought there was a touch. I thought I saw a touch.
And they give the point to Rose-Hulman. Both referees were kind of looking at each other, looking to see if either of them had a judgment on the call. And eventually it gave the point to Rose. So 3-3 in the 3rd set. Yeah. Harrington, opposite side to Brandis. Now Rose-Hulman and Jillian Gregg. Brandis again. Ebright digs it, but it goes over the scorer's table.
Yeah, Earlham has fixed from game 1 when Rose was doing the line. They've done a great job of making every pass that Rose has taken down the line and converting on it.
Liv Kirk, line drive serve. Gregg on the outside. She's been really active this set so far. And now in will come Amaya Harrell as well.
Yeah, that was a great point for Rose to get that rotation.
In this third set, 1-1 in the match. And they call that out. It'll be a point for Rose Holman. And for how the Engineers started this set, they've really come alive.
Yeah, they absolutely have. Earlham had early control, and now Rose has found their groove.
Anaya Harrington dug out by Ebright. Harrell puts it in play, and it's a point. That was outstanding play by Harrell.
She saw that at the last second and just tried to tip it in that deep corner there, and it was a great play by her.
Addison Piot was trying to dive for it, and this time she'll set it up for Harrington. 10-5 in this third set. Beverly. Harrington again. Beverly's diving all over the place. Ebright. Girardi. Ebright again will set it up on the left side for Beverly. Bizjack controls for the Quakers. And a miss hit. Malia Burford, who's in the game now for the first time, just hit the net, and it's 11-5 Engineers in this third set. Sorry if we had some technical difficulties. Should be back up and running now. As Ebright digs off Harrington. Beverly again over the block attempt. Harrington, Harrell got a fingertip on it. Rose Holman controls. It's dumped over by Harshini. And again, a low hit from Burford, and Rose Holman 12, Earlham 5. Fighting Engineers taking control of this third set. We're going to keep it here, and in this timeout, Mike, if you are on Earlham's coaching staff, what is the conversation here?
Well, we've got to make sure we're putting the ball on our hitters. So we've got to go to Harrington right now. She's our outside person. Burford just came in. She's an ideal lefty that plays the right side, which is perfect. But we've got to get her into the rhythm of the game. She's had 4 attempts and 3 errors, and that's not helping.
Yeah, I mean, coming in kind of in the middle of a match, too, has to be tough. Burford has played in 10 sets just this season. I mean, this is just her 11th set that she's played in, sophomore from Indianapolis.
Yeah, Lawrence Central product. But I think you've got to ride Harrington right now in the front row. She's your outside. You got to go strong. Even with Harrell there in the middle that might block it, you want your best against the other team's best. And Harrell right now in the front row is the best.
She's been a lot to handle. Harrell has been excellent so far for Rose Holman, part of this excellent Fighting Engineers front line here, and Beverly as well. You have to give her credit for how she's been doing up there. Jillian Gregg, another name as well. Leading the charge for Rose Holman, 12-5 after the timeout. And here's Beverly, controlled by Earlham. There is Harrington. Beverly was able to get a paw on it, and Ebright, that was just too difficult for her to get to.
Yeah, that was good by Beverly. It was a great shot for her, and she kind of cut it around the block.
It was well done by Anaya Harrington again. Today is the cancer research game here tonight. You may notice on the Rose Holman side, as the serve is going to be an error there, it just goes straight into the net from Lauren Newcomer. But on the Rose-Hulman side, you see some of those blue shirts that Rachel Delsey and the coaching staff is wearing. There you'll see as a couple players in Beverly and Harshini sub out. They've each got a different name on the back of maybe somebody who has affected them. And obviously playing for more purpose here today in Holbert Arena. Bergfeld. It's dug out by Bizjack. And here's Rose-Hulman and Bergfeld, another try. And she gets the point and the kill.
Oh, that was a very hard shot by her, and she put it right down where she needed to. What a great play.
Here's Kadili, who kind of has that knuckleball type serve. Girardi that time, it was deflected at the net again by Harrell. And that time, the power from Julia Vamos gives Rose-Hulman a point. Vamos, a freshman from Valparaiso, has only played in 4 matches this season coming in. Played in a 1 set earlier and just got her first kill of the match. Greg sets it up. Harrell goes up top. And it's a point for Rose-Hulman.
Rose is doing a great job of moving her around the floor and getting her some wide open attack balls.
Murray and Bizjack were kind of tossing it to each other in the middle there for the Quakers. It was just too hard hit from Harrell. 16-6 in this third set. Girardi, that's in, and now the Quakers finally, they're actually going to say it was touched by Rose-Hulman. That's why the point goes to the Quakers. And now Bizjack will have a chance to serve. Ebright receives. Harrell goes up top and through the block.
Yeah, that was strength there. I thought it got blocked, and then all of a sudden it got through. But again, there's Harrell on another point for them.
Harrell will now come out. Back in is Kira Osi, the freshman from Chicago.
And Ebright, they got Ebright serving for Harrell.
Osi, 5 kills on 10 attempts here this afternoon.
It's a great pickup by Ebright. Oh, a tip.
Yeah, Bergfeld trying to just dink it over. There's the lefty, and another one into the net from Aaliyah Burford. They're trying to get her involved. A 11-point lead in this third set for Rose-Hulman. That's Liv Kirk, who's dug out by Jillian Gregg. Bergfeld past the block. They did block it, but it didn't go over the net. It went on the Quakers' side, and now it's 19-7. Again, that was Burford.
Yeah, she was not tight at the net on that. I was able to let it slip down in front of her.
Ebright, nice serve, just grazes the net. Kadili and her had a little bit of a miscommunication. Both went for the ball, and Kadili taps her chest, saying that's her fault. It'll be a point for the Quakers.
We always tell our players, if the ball's coming between you, the person who to the left is the better player. That play would have been Ebright. Nice.
It's Vamos up there on the right side for Rose-Hulman. Greg sets it up. Bergfeld. What do we got?
Net.
Net, yep, net violation on the Quakers.
So Kylie Brandis into the net there, and that hurt her thumb. She's holding her thumb.
And Brandis, remember, in the second set, we had an injury timeout. She fell awkwardly on her hand, and she's got a taped up wrist and thumb right now. She is still out there, but clearly a bit shaken up, playing through some pain. 28 in this third set. Rose-Hulman has been dominant. Here is Brandis. And it looked like Ebright touched it.
Yeah, I don't think she meant to. I think she realized late it was out, but her arm was already there.
Piat serves it over for the Quakers. That's Jillian Gregg. Kirk. Ebright sets it up. Gregg again.
Yeah, no touch there. That was just hit the net and then deflected out.
One match score here at Hobart Arena, as that was a nice deflection up there towards the net. Brandis.
Yeah, that was a nice block. She got all that, turned it inside too.
It's hard to do, to go up with an injured wrist and try to deflect that ball coming in at a lot of power, and that time Kirk and Harrington couldn't do anything.
No, Greg muscled that over and put it in.
Ava Walters back in the game on the front line for the Quakers. And she'll set it up for Brandis. And it was deflected at the net and out of play for a point.
Yeah, you got to go back to Brandis again. Get her in rhythm.
Starting to heat up here in this third set.
Nice block, kill there. Get her going.
Still 21-12 though, Rose Holman. Nice serve, but a better dig from Ebright. And I believe we actually had the point. I think the whistle was blown a little late there.
Yeah, I thought she might have pancaked it. So did the coach talking to the down official, but the up official said no, it hit the floor.
Pancake.
Pancake
Put
is
your hand right on the floor.
So we got to go palm down. It's your hand hitting the floor at the same time your ball hits the top of your hand, and it gets it. You get under the ball. That's the key. That's a good hit right there.
Yeah, Girardi up there. Well done towards the net. Despite this being a 22-13 third set lead for Rose Holman, does feel like Earlham has some momentum here. And as I say that, Brandis hits it right into the net. Two points until Rose Holman wins this third set. Jillian Gregg set to serve for the Fighting Engineers, and that was well done by Addison Piat. Just kind of watched it go out of play.
That's the first one for Rose this game. They've done a better job having 8 in the first 2, and now at 23 they get 1.
Newcomer. Here's Rose Holman, Amaya Harrell.
She is a difference maker. Now you're going to serve for the game.
Man, she gets up there.
She does.
Around the net, and it's set point.
And I got a feeling this is going to be a stuff block here for Harrell in the game.
Oh, here it might be. No. Girardi's able to get it by, and Ebright mishits the dig or the pass.
Souvenir for a fan right there. That doesn't happen often for her, I'm sure.
No. Not into the stands. Might be the only time this season. 24-15 in this third set. Rose Holman here. As Harrell, that was a bit mishit. I think that was Kadili trying to get it to her. Harrell wanted it on that right arm. Instead, she had to reach back for it and didn't get as clean a look.
Yeah, there's a miscommunication on that one between those two.
It's a fake to Harrell, and Bergfeld sets up on the left side.
Okay, you got to use this.
Way up in the air this time.
Use this free ball.
Harrell outside. The Quakers starting to string together some points.
I'd go to Harrell again. Let her finish it.
They go Vamos. It was touched at the net. Vamos able to tip it back over this time. They're testing her on that left side. Bergfeld. Dug out by Bizjack. There's the lefty, and finally, Malia Burford comes through for the Quakers. A well-hit ball.
That was a great job by her. She got her hip through the ball and around and allowed her to turn and put the ball in play.
The lefty there on that right side, like you said, it definitely gives a different look.
It does. If you got a lefty playing that right side, that is a huge advantage for you as a team.
And with the Quakers stringing together some points here consecutively, just like that, it's 24-18 and a timeout called by Rachel Delsey. We'll take a quick break here in the third set on RHIT TV.
Anxious over algebra? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org. Confused by chemistry? Call Ask Rose, the free science and math homework helpline. It's free world-class tutoring. Just call, chat, email, or screen share. Learn more at AskRose.org.
Looking to elevate your brand? Choose Dynamark, your local one-stop shop for all your print signs, promo products, apparel, and mailing services. Serving Indianapolis for over 50 years, Dynamark, where strong relationships are built through exceptional service. Call us today at 317-328-2555. Broadcast also brought to you by Officially Human. Mission is to restore respect to game officials and recognize them as authorities on the fields and courts. Do your part, practice good sportsmanship. If we don't have officials, we can't play. 24-18 here in the third set, Fighting Engineers. There's Harrell trying to end this one for Rose Holman. It's a 1-1 match score, and Buford, another big-time hit.
That's her second kill here. And she played well against Mount St. Joe's a few weeks ago, where she had a season-high 4 kills.
She's got 2 here this afternoon. Kadili, lucky she was able to control that. Bergfeld gets it over the net. It's 24-19. Quakers have stormed back in this third set. Harrell, it was tipped by Kirk. Kirk gets a crack at it. Kadili, an awesome dig.
That was a great dig.
Ebright sets it up. Bergfeld, Bizjack diving for it. Still alive. How about this rally in Buford? What a play.
She is fired up, and so are her teammates for her.
Wow.
She hit that line right there. It makes a world of difference if you're a lefty on that right side.
And how about Addison Piot coming over out of bounds near the scorer's table on this left side. And nevertheless, despite the run from the Quakers, Rose Holman is able to take the third set 25-20. Another strong showing from Amaya Harrell, and it's 2-1 Rose Holman within a game of taking the match here on RHIT TV.
So I started working on Babcock Ranch 16 years ago. We designed a sustainable community that is also storm resilient, and also it has a ton of flood control associated with it. It has 75 megawatt solar facilities on site, which will cover the entire 18,000 acre community. In September of 2022, we had Hurricane Ian. We had 150 miles an hour sustained winds for about 10 hours and 21 inches of rain. Babcock really had little to no damage at all. We were the only place in a 2-county area that had any electric or any available drinking water that did not need to be boiled. And Rose really prepares you to go out, think outside the box, and problem solve. And I think for any major at Rose Holman, that's what you're getting. You have the ability to go out and create something new and innovate and change the way that we live as humans today.
William McDermott alongside Mike Hash here in Holbert Arena. Rose-Hulman and the Earlham College Quakers, an HCAC volleyball matchup. And Rose-Hulman so far has been pretty dominant, especially in that third set and the opening one as well, really. Just a strong showing from Rachel Delsey's squad, and they're a game away from taking the match. What can they kind of do to close this one out, or continue to do more so?
Well, I think they got to continue from game 3 where they only had one serving error. That was key. Their passing was much better. And Harrell was the X factor in that third game. But they're keeping the ball in play. That's the other thing. They're not doing any unforced team errors. They're keeping it in play. If I'm Earlham, I'm telling the girls, hey, we just finished that third game really well. Take that momentum into 4, and let's push this to 5 sets.
Make sure to check out the IndianaSRN sports page with wall-to-wall sports news every day, high school, college, and pro. We have it all. Check it out at IndianaSRN.org and click on the sports page tab. Stay informed with the IndianaSRN sports page. Also help us make a difference and put more high school athletes and college athletes on TV by logging on to IndianaSRN.org and directing your donation to a specific school, or just hit the donate button. More games, more opportunities for these kids. IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
What's interesting in these stats, I'm looking at this side-out percentage that Rose in the first game, when the chance arrived, they got side out 70% of the time. And then you look in game 2, Earlham took advantage of that, and they had 56% to Earlham's 52. And then in the third game, it looks like Earlham dropped way down into the 40s, and Rose maintained 55%. So Rose is getting the side outs when they need it, and Earlham is not. So that's where your points are coming from too.
And this is the stat line through 3 sets for Amaya Harrell. 16 kills, just 1 error on 30 attempts.
She's hitting 500.
Yeah. Julia Ehrman has 23 assists. She's been really solid setting things up for Rose-Hulman as well. So here we go in the 4th set. Rose-Hulman trying to close this thing out. Coming off a loss, 0-3 at Hanover on Wednesday. Rose-Hulman just needing some momentum here towards the end of the season. Quite the rally here for the first point.
Yeah, this is a great rally right here for 1 point, and that's out.
Oh, no, they call in.
Oh, they called touch.
Or touched.
So the up
official
calls touch. That's why they're giving them the point.
That was Piat who smacked it down for the Quakers. That was just tough to corral up there towards the front of the net. It was Ehrman in there. OC was in the area as well. OC's going to have to dump it. Brandis, great dig by Ebright, who's diving all over the place. But nevertheless, Gabby Girardi is able again to put one down for the Quakers, and a quick 3-0 lead here in the 4th set. Remember, this is similar to how the 3rd set started. Quakers got off to a nice and easy lead before Rose-Hulman took control. OC. And what do we have, a double hit? Or maybe a net violation, and the point will go to the Engineers.
Yeah, Girardi was into the net there. But you're right, Earlham comes out. This is the 3rd game in a row. They've come out strong. What's interesting is Rose didn't pass very well in game 2 on this side, and now game 4, they didn't start out passing well either.
4th set here, William McDermott and Mike Hash. Ehrman kept it alive. It was dumped by Harshini for Rose-Hulman. Here's Brandis on the attack, and she just mishit it.
That was interesting. So that's the outside they brought in for a middle set. And if she gets that over the net, there's no one there to block it.
You know what I would compare it to? If you're a football fan, it's almost like a pulling guard coming around to make a block on a big run play. But that time she just couldn't find the hole.
Or give him the ball.
Exactly. Oh, Girardi trying to will it over the net, basically. And Engineers 3 straight points here in the 4th set. 22 away from the match victory. It'd be a pretty big one as well. Rose-Hulman 1-3 in conference this season. And a good stop up there by OC. And Girardi having some problems up near the net this set.
Yeah, you got to go back out to Brandis. She's on the outside. She needs a ball.
And that's where they go. Brandis. No, they say it was out.
Yeah.
Out on the left side.
That was a great ball. She went line and just missed it. You're talking inches.
Here's Ellie Harshini, one of their better servers on this Fighting Engineers squad.
Great hustle.
She's able to get it over the net somehow. Brandis hits it out. Harshini made that point. She had a great serve. She came over, made the block on the left side, and then that time she was able to get out of the way knowing it wasn't going to be in for a point. She'll serve again. Piot had a big swing. Gregg has one of her own, and it's another point for the Engineers. 6 in a row, 7 actually.
Yeah, they've caught a rhythm here. They start out slow in game 3 and 4, but they've caught the rhythm.
Harshini to Bizjak again. Beverly. They call it in. And we're going to have a timeout called by Lauren Horton. She wants to talk things over. 8 consecutive points for Rose-Hulman in this 4th set, trying to take it home over Earlham College. We'll take a quick break on RHIT TV.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
A good engineer, a good mathematician, a good scientist can identify problems.
But in order to be a great scientist or engineer, you've got to have curiosity and you've got to have creativity. And that's what's going to set you apart.
You can't teach curiosity. You just need to encourage your students to be curious. Curious in anything that they do. Curious so that it brings out the innovations, the new ideas.
8-3 after the Lauren Horton timeout. It was 8 consecutive points this set for Rose-Hulman. 9 if you go back to the last one they won, but nevertheless, Fighting Engineers are rolling, although that serve from Harshini, finally one doesn't go her way, and Quakers get back in the point column. 8-4 here in this 4th set. Rose-Hulman, it's been competitive, but they've been really solid here this afternoon, trying to take this one in 4 over Earlham. Nice block, and that was all Kaylee Brandis.
Yeah, that was a really nice block. That was a tough decision to send it way outside because there was no coverage on that block. So they were stuck.
Last week against Hanover, Brandis had 16 kills. Dealing with the hand issue here this afternoon. She injured it in the 3rd set. Still out there, though, playing through the pain. Harrington leads the team in kills here this afternoon. Bizjack controls for the Quakers. Brandis again, Ebright diving for it. OC's gonna have to dump it. Harrington will send it over. Ebright up towards the net. Beverly got it over the block attempt. Brandis again, can't hit.
I think it was just a miss hit. That was a great rally. She mistimed that.
Just maybe jumped a little too early going for it, and like you said, mistimed. 9-5 in the fourth set. Rose-Hulman leads. Double deflection, and Harshini tried to sprawl for it and couldn't. Amaya Harrell will come back in now. OC will take a seat. It's Greg on the right side. Amaya Harrington as Harshini and Ebright almost collide. Have to be careful on plays like that. It's 9-7 now, fourth set. Up towards the net, Desiree Beverly was deflected, controlled by the Quakers. Again, they go to Beverly, left side, through the block. Bizjack, Harrington will just send it over. Received by Rose-Hulman. Beverly again, another hit. Nice rally here. Ebright sets it up. Beverly, low shot. And they're going to give the point to the Quakers, I think.
Yeah, I don't think Earlham touched it.
Yeah, it just hit straight into the net on the kill attempt from Desiree Beverly, and it's 9-8.
Earlham's done a great
that just barely got over.
There is not one thing you can do with that when you're on receive. It's one of those.
Oh, Madison Bizjack, the libero who's serving, sophomore from San Diego, leads the team in digs per set, 4.59, picked up the ace. And Rose-Hulman's going to get a point as Harrington was outside.
Yeah, Bizjack put that way too far outside the antenna, and Harrington could not get the angle she needed. Rose has got to get Harrell involved in this. She's in the game. You need her.
Vamos, who just came in, took a big hack. 10-9 in this fourth set, and Kaylee Brandis overpowering Rose-Hulman for that point.
That was a great ball for her. Now she's back to serve.
Brandis serves. There's Harrell. Nicely blocked. I believe that was Harrington. Dig shot by Vamos. Greg digs it. Ehrman over to Beverly. Rose-Hulman still has possession.
Great setter dump. Almost caught him off guard.
Harrell goes up and it's deflected for a point.
Yep.
Kadili comes back in along with Hannah Bergfeld. Bergfeld's been up on the left side of that front line much of this afternoon. Kadili will serve with her kind of knuckleball here. It's a great serve. It was nicely digged by Piat. And the dig shot from Liv Kirk.
She was at the right place, the right time. It was a great block by Rose, and then it went right to her, and she just shoved it right down into the open hole. This is a great fourth game.
11-11 here in the fourth set. Newcomer serves it over for the Quakers. Harrell gets up there, can't connect on the first and second. Gregg receives for the Engineers. Bergfeld, left side, over to Bizjack. Kirk tried to get it through, and there was a bit of a mix-up between Bergfeld and Kadili. Both didn't know who was going to go for that ball, and the Quakers had the advantage in the fourth set, 12-11.
Earlham's done a great job after that timeout on a 9-3 run.
Newcomer error. As the game's gone on, the serves have definitely gotten better, but still seeing some of those service errors. And now it's 12-12. Bright. Nicely lofted over the net. And even a better play by the front line of the Quakers. Girardi back in. Bergfeld, too much on it, just went basically a straight line, a couple feet out of bounds on the right side.
Yeah, I think she was aiming for the corner. The set was just off the net a little, probably further than what she had thought it was.
OC tips it over the net for Rose. The lefty in Buford again.
Ever since she's come back in, she's done a great job for Earlham. There's another kill for her.
That was set up by Newcomer. And both Ebright and Kadili tried to dive for it. Couldn't get to it. OC through the block. It was deflected. And that was well hit by Addison Piott. Earlham's got some life here in the fourth set. 16-12 lead for the Quakers. We've got a fun, entertaining match here on IndianaSRN RHIT TV.
If there is one thing wrong in your aircraft, you're gonna fail. Finding the right answer and trying again, that's really what dragged me to aerospace. This is a 3D printed airplane which I made over my freshman year at Rose-Hulman that can be radio controlled and flown. I saw other people making amazing stuff on 3D printers, and I thought if I combined that art of 3D printing with engineering, I could make something as complex as an airplane. So I got the idea as a sophomore in high school, and I just tried. I did it. I failed a couple times, but it all changed when I came to Rose-Hulman. I got in touch with Dr. Riley, who is an aerospace and ME professor, who really asked me great questions about the concepts of my design. So pursuing such project as a freshman, it just lets me feel amazing that I have still 3 years to do something much more complex than this, and it will lead me much further.
William McDermott and Mike Hash back with you on campus of Rose-Hulman Institute of Technology in Terre Haute, Indiana. Rose-Hulman a 2-1 match advantage over the Earlham College Quakers. Right now, Quakers getting going in this fourth set, but not for long as Vamos, a strong left-hand kill.
That was a great play. I tell you, I always think it's special when I have a lefty on my team because it's important that they learn that position over there, and the ball doesn't have to cross their body like you as a right-handed hitter.
Just comes a lot more natural.
Much more natural.
Girardi tries to punch one down. And a misfire from Jillian Gregg. We were talking about it at the break, Mike, and at one point, Engineers were up big. I believe 8-3 in this fourth set, and looked like they were going to take the match, and Quakers have just erupted.
They have, and Rose is not getting the points and the down balls they need. They're hitting it, and they're hitting it hard. They're just hitting it where Earlham is.
Ehrman in there now for Rose Holman. Tried to set it up for Bergfeld. Brandis, it's out. Point Rose.
Looked like she got under it just a little too much and wasn't able to snap through the ball and get that downward projection that she needed.
Harshani to serve. Controlled by the Quakers. Brandis deflected up by Gregg. And Gregg will get an opportunity and kind of hit off her wrist right into the net.
Yeah,
for Earlham.
Miss hit there. That was a nice side out for Earlham.
Back in comes Anaya Harrington. Kill leader this afternoon for the Quakers. Here she is and gets another.
Rose is not getting the blocks they need to there. That was just a free, just pounding the ball down.
And we've got another timeout called here by Rachel Delsey. She wants to talk things over. Quite the swing here in this fourth set. 19-14 Quakers trying to extend it to a 5-game match. Today's broadcast is brought to you by Family Source Insurance. Pat Cherry is your independent agent representing Ohio Mutual Insurance. Call him today for coverage tomorrow, 317-894-7000. 19-14 in this fourth set. Quakers so far. It's going to be 20-14 after that point. Quite the comeback this set for Earlham.
Yeah, they've hit the red zone here. Rose did an adjustment coming out after that timeout, and I'm trying to see. It has to do with Harrell. I think they've moved her, or will move her when she comes back in after this next side out for Rose.
Ebright comes all the way up to dig it, and Beverly just barely put the ball too far. It's 21-14. It looks like we could be headed for a fifth and final game.
Aurora Schmidt's back in the game. She's going to play outside now.
They go to her immediately, and it was blocked by Brandis. Gregg on the other side, and that could be the momentum that the Engineers need.
Yeah, that was a tough shot there. She went deep corner, but more importantly, it gets a side-out rotation, and number 6 is back in.
Amaya Harrell, kill leader this afternoon for the Engineers. Brandis, strong right arm.
Great job by Earlham going to their top player.
Yeah, she was pretty quiet at the start of the match, Mike, but really, I mean, you can still see her grabbing that left wrist and thumb. She got injured in that third set, and ever since then, she's been playing great. And there's Harrell making plays up near the net.
Yeah, both players right now are making plays for their teams.
Harrington, it grazed the top of the net, and Harshini and Ebright both couldn't get to it.
Yeah, I don't know. Coach made an adjustment, but they didn't execute it. That was a wide open. That middle was so wide open.
Yeah, Rachel Delsey had her hands on her head after that point.
She's not very pleased, that's for sure.
Harrell had an opportunity. Here's Harrington now, and again, that middle of the floor wide open. It's kind of that area right below Harshini and Ebright. Not able to get to it. So Brandis to serve with set point, and it's an error. She's had some trouble with that serve. It might be due to the hand.
Yeah. I think it's the toss. I think her toss just isn't getting up there.
A couple subs in for both squads. Brandis will come out. So will Harshini and Schmidt. Eva Walters also out for the Quakers. Bizjack over to Harrington. Bergfeld, strong right arm swing. There's the lefty Buford. Up to Harrell near the center of the net. Harrington left side. What a dig by Ebright. Kept alive by Kadili. Kirk blocked. But no. It was blocked out of play. And that is the fourth set as the Quakers will take it. This has been an entertaining match. We're going the distance here on RHIT TV, 2-2 on campus of Rose-Hulman. Don't go anywhere.
So I started working on Babcock Ranch 16 years ago. We designed a sustainable community that is also storm resilient, and also it has a ton of flood control associated with it. It has 75 megawatt solar facilities on site, which will cover the entire 18,000 acre community. In September of 2022, we had Hurricane Ian. We had 150 miles an hour sustained winds for about 10 hours and 21 inches of rain. Babcock really had little to no damage at all. We were the only place in a 2-county area that had any electric or any available drinking water that did not need to be boiled. And Rose really prepares you to go out, think outside the box, and problem solve. And I think for any major at Rose-Hulman, that's what you're getting. You have the ability to go out and create something new and innovate and change the way that we live as humans today.
Back here for the fifth and final game. It was Earlham who won the coin toss, so they will start and serve to start things off. It's first to 15 in this fifth and final game. And this has been very, very exciting so far this afternoon between Earlham and Rose-Hulman. Going the distance. Today's broadcast also brought to you by Aspen Creek Grill. Why go anywhere else for delicious food? If you're looking for amazing fresh food and servers that genuinely care about service, you've got to try Aspen Creek Grill. If you're looking for amazing fresh food and servers that genuinely care about service, you also won't be disappointed. So check out Aspen Creek Grill. Also brought to you by Clean Slate. Find your future in the cloud. We're a technology consulting firm specializing in custom-built modern applications and products that deliver greater agility, faster speed to innovation, and the resiliency to handle whatever the future throws your way. Call us to 866-885-3249. William McDermott alongside Mike Hash in Holbert Arena. Mike, this has been a phenomenal matchup so far this afternoon, and now it's the final game. What can you look for that you've seen from either team that they need to capitalize on if they want to take the victory?
So from Rose's standpoint, they've got to own the net. That means blocking and attacking. In that last game, it seemed to be Earlham was owning the net. They had lots of deflected blocks back, Both teams done a great job with with serving errors over the past 2 games. But Rose, they've got to ride Harrell, and Earlham's got to ride Brandis. Get the hitters going early, and I tell my players we're going to break this 3rd game down into three things of 5. First team to 5, first team to 10, first team to 15. So that way we can shrink it down. But I'll take receive. As long as we get a good pass, I'll take the receive. And I would probably, I'll tell you who I'd go to, is I'm gonna go after Beverly on that outside. She came out in that 4th game. Coach subbed her out. I'd go back to her to show her I got confidence in her, and you're going to get us that first point to get us a rotation so we can start serving here.
You also mentioned that, so since Earlham won the coin toss and gets to serve first, as Walters does there, and they do go to Beverly. We'll wait to finish my point here after the first point. There's Greg on the right side, and Rose-Hulman does get the point. 1-0 start here in the 5th game. What I was saying is Rose-Hulman gets to choose what side they want to be on, and they chose this side, and that surprised you.
Yeah, it did. It kind of did. They pass better on the other side, and I don't know if it has something to do with the arena. One side is a flat wall, and the other side has open air. And that was always something that I would talk about when we would go play in big gyms, is get to know both sides, because the depth perception is different when the ball's coming at you.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so on this right side, we're closer to where we are in the Rose-Hulman side. It's just basically a brick wall here in the basketball gym, is Brandis doing what she does best, 2-1. And then on the other side where the Earlham Quakers are, it's more of an open space. There's this little balcony and walkway overhead as well. So 2-1 Quakers in this 5th game. Piat past the outstretched arms of Julia Ehrman, and it's 3-1 Earlham.
So Earlham out to another quick start in the 4th game in a row. What's Rose going to do?
So Piat, the freshman from Fort Myers, serves it for the Quakers. Harrington. Bergfeld right into the net. Didn't have a good grasp on that pass, and 4-1. Harshini also had another service error earlier in this 5th and final game here. There's Harrington blocked by Greg.
Wow, that was a great block by Greg, because Oshie was late getting there, and it was basically a one-on-one attempt there.
Kira Oshie, the freshman from Chicago, to serve. 4-2 this 5th final set. Really good serve, but Bizjack kept it alive for the Quakers. Harrell up top, couldn't connect. Dug out, Brandis a chance and wins the point.
That was a big little play right there. They dig Harrell. I thought it was going down. They dig her, get it to Brandis, and Brandis execute a point.
Beautiful stuff from Kaylee Brandis. And Lily Ebright going to take a towel, and
that young lady has
get
been
some sweat up off
over
the
this floor
today. She has been. She said, I'll clean up my own mess. And they need her to really come alive here defensively in this 5th and final game. It's a 5-2 advantage for the Quakers so far. Greg. Bizjack passes it to Brandis. Dug out by Ehrman. Ebright will dump it. Kirk dug out by Ebright, the D3 leader. Harrell over the net. Harrington gets a chance. Was close to the pole. Ebright, what a dunk. Quite the rally here. Harrington just lofts it over. Ebright pass, right side. Gregg, good deflection at the net and controlled by Newcomer. Ebright another dig. They go with Bergfeld left side. Bizjack controls for the Quakers. Harrington deflected near the net. Set up. Double hit as it hits the net. Harrington again. Controlled by the Engineers. Harrell misfires.
That was tough. That didn't even get to the top of the net. So, but I would tell you what Earlham did on Harrell's first shot, they brought all three front row line a triple block. That is respect.
Oh, service error right there. Madison Bizjack puts it past the left line, and it's 6-3. It'll be a serve for Gregg and the Engineers here. Boy, that was an entertaining rally.
It was.
2 points ago. Gregg goes up towards the net. Harrell smackdown.
There's the Harrell you need for this fifth and deciding set.
And well dumped off and passed off by Jillian Gregg. Have another look. The dig from Harshini to Gregg, and then Harrell near that center net. She has been electric this afternoon. 6-4 in this fifth game. They go to her again in the center. That time didn't get a clean look. She deflected it, kept alive. And Bergfeld just, maybe she tried to pass that, but she really had to dump that over. It would have been one too many touches.
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to do a two-hand pass right down the net and get it as close as she can.
Yeah.
You just got to keep the ball in play.
7-4 as Brandis service error. We talked about the issues she's had serving the ball because of that injury she sustained in the third set. You look at that left wrist taped up. She remained in the game. She's been playing well, but that serve, she's had some problems with it.
Yeah, I'm wondering why they're not going with her for someone else to serve instead of her. But if she's your top player, you got to go with her. No matter what she brings to the table, it's always going to be good. This is where you try to ice the server here.
Kadili to serve. Received by the Quakers. Harrington, that's in. Boy, she's been impressive.
So they're switching.
Well, it does look like they are going to switch sides. And I think we're just going to dive right back into action. No mid or timeout and break. It's 8-5 Quakers. Must be kind of annoying to have to move all your water bottles and gear and stuff every set, and now in the middle of the fifth and final.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing there. But this will be interesting to see the passing. How does passing change?
And how did the aerodynamics play out differently? Well, it worked out pretty well there as Harrell gets a point for the Engineers, 8-6. Remember, here in the fifth and final game, it's first to 15, still win by 2. 2-2 match score here in Albert Arena. Been a great interconference HCAC matchup. Piat through the block. That was Vamos and Osi who were up there.
It was a good hit by Piat.
Yeah, just a freshman hitting .217 coming into the game with 94 kills has been impressive this season. Ramos got it over for Rose-Hulman. And long there from Skylar Murray. It's 9-7.
We've not seen many back row attacks. I think that was the first one this game we really saw where they set her up to hit it.
I mean, both teams, when they have such dominant players up front. They've just been kind of hammering it home. So Ehrman to serve, 9-7 advantage for the Quakers. In the 5th and final game, and a tip shot from Malia Buford. She had a really tough start to this match when she first came in around the 2nd and 3rd set. And she has really come alive and made some big plays for the Quakers.
I think she caught them off guard. They were waiting for a kill, and she just dinked it right over.
And looks like we're going to have a timeout called by Rachel Delsey, realizing this match is slowly slipping away from Rose-Hulman. 10-7 in the 5th and final set. Quakers 5 points away from taking the match on RHIT TV.
Hello and welcome to Game Day. My name is Keith Myers. I'm the Vice President of IndianaSRN. We're glad that you joined us today. If you'd like to see more content just like tonight, just hit the donate button. Every dollar that you donate will go right back into more games right here on IndianaSRN. This means more games for you. It's IndianaSRN, where you always have a front row seat.
This 5th and final game here. Be sure to thank our sponsor, Wheeler Mission, as for over 125 years, Wheeler Mission has been a pillar of the Indianapolis community, providing help, hope, and healing to people in need. You can volunteer today at 317-686-6239. Well, timeout was just called by Rachel Delsey, who's in her 7th season as head coach of Rose-Hulman Volleyball, and this match slowly slipping away from them. Walters serves for the Quakers. OC immediately, but pushes it too far.
Yeah, that's tough coming out of your timeout. That's a free ball you just gave. Now you're up 4 and 4 off for Earlham. Oh.
Padili had a difficult time, and it was an excellent serve from Addison Piat.
Timeout again.
And back-to-back timeouts. We're going to keep it here as Rachel Delsey realizing that this match is starting to get away from them a little bit, and for how dominant Rose-Hulman had looked, Mike, early on. They had that first set win, 25-17. The second set was very competitive, 25-23. Rose-Hulman made it close there towards the end of that second game. And then the third set was just really dominant, 25-20. A little bit skewed. Quakers had maybe 5 or 6 consecutive points at the end there, and then it's been all Earlham so far in this 5th and final game.
So you can look back to that third set where those points at the end of the game may not have mattered a whole lot to Earlham, but they mattered, or to Rose, but they mattered to Earlham. They've taken that and they've kind of found their groove and built on it. So Earlham just kind of, they've stuck around. They found the open holes. You know, Rose they got to make a pass. You need a pass. You got to get out of this. You got to get that rotation. You need Harrell back in the game. And I think you're 2 rotations away from Harrell coming back. You are.
Walters, the junior from Marion, serves it. Barely kept alive by Ehrman and Rose-Hulman. Brandis straight into the net, and Rose-Hulman, after the timeout, gets a much-needed point.
Yeah, big point there for them.
So Harshini will serve. She's been solid back there.
4 aces on the day. This would be a great time to get another ace if she can.
Brandis, what a tip shot.
They caught him. That was a great tip. Now you got Harrington coming back in for Earlham, and she's helped them all day long.
Quakers 2 points away. We're down 2-1 in this match overall. And Bergfeld right into the net. Match point. And it's tough for Rose-Hulman because they're not able to get Amaya Harrell back in there.
They got to get a side out right here.
Piat on the serve. OC just barely kept it alive. Gregg, strong right arm swing. They go to Brandis, and that's it. Earlham comes in and comes back. A victory on the road for the Earlham College Quakers, and Lauren Horton has to be a happy lady as Rose-Hulman was in control for much of this match. But in the end, Kaylee Brandis being able to play through the injury. Here she is on the final point. Nice swing with the right arm. Looks like Jillian Gregg got a hand on it, and there was nothing that the engineers could do about it after that.
No, that's a big win for Earlham on the road. Without a doubt, that puts them in a great position to be an upper tier team ahead of the conference tournament.
So Earlham now moves to 3-2 in conference, like you said. Rose-Hulman drops to 1-4. William McDermott and Mike Hash, we've been with you here on Indiana SRN. 8-12, or excuse me, Earlham College moves to 9-12. Rose-Hulman goes to 8-16. And just a tough end to the match for Rose. Going to thank our sponsors here at the end of the match. Reynolds Farm Equipment, Passion to Care, Boilermaker Local 374, Wheeler Mission, Burtner Electric, Morales Group, and finally the Indiana SRN Sports Page. 3-2 in 5 sets. Earlham College, the victors. For Mike Hash, William McDermott here in Holbert Arena, saying so long from Terre Haute, Indiana. Earlham College, the victors over Rose-Hulman Volleyball.